So what advice can you give these students about things that they can take, study, do in high school that they can begin to explore more? We talked a little bit about job shadowing and reaching out in those areas. Do you know of any specific advantages or opportunities in your industry that students could tap into?
So I kind of heard it all because I'm, of course, made t-shirts, but I studied psychology. And the reason why I initially studied it was because I wanted to help people, which was super generic, and I got the same feedback from my professors then. You know, exactly what do you mean by that? I said how I got into social entrepreneurship was by realizing that philanthropy and business, you know, do convene at a certain point, which is social entrepreneurship. But it's like where psychology really helped me, even though I did nothing that had to do with it, was just overall, the overall ability to work with people, whether that's clients, whether it's marketing, whether that's employees. It's so important, especially in today's age when people are so much more introverted, especially younger generations, and always on their phones or always, you know, looking at some kind of screen. Is that really impacts those soft skills. And I also wanted to highlight a couple of those soft skills where I think psychology can really help. But is that perseverance and determination to be able to get out there and meet people, be high energy, and in doing so, being able to empathize with other people and learn what those needs are, whether it's somebody that's interviewing you, or just simply finding a niche that, you know, needs to be filled. And as John was saying, I couldn't agree more. You know, for years, we're in our 9th year business, and I'm still looking for somebody that just has a problem-solving type mentality, the perseverance to be able to show up to a job every day, and is reliable. And if I could find that person, which is amazing, I haven't been able to yet long-term, they would have an amazing job. So, you know, there's lots of opportunity, and that's just in one tiny little niche of a t-shirt shop in Fort Myers, Florida, that needs a full-time production manager that is just simply persevering, reliable, and problem-solving focused. So,
one thing that I would say, and you know, we're obviously talking about employment, but one thing I would say before you get to that point is to volunteer. Get out and find out what agencies are operating in your field, in your area, and do some volunteer work. I know at FGCU, our students have a requirement called service learning, and they either have to do 80 hours if they start as a freshman or 40 hours if they come as a transfer. And as I always kind of joke with my students, you know, somebody needs to go to the beach and pick up the trash, I understand that. But make your service learning meaningful and memorable, and do those hours in the profession that you think you might end up in. That's going to help you, A, learn something about the field, but B, it's also going to start your professional networking. Because eventually you're going to be coming back and you're going to be looking for things like letters of recommendation. And that's a great way to build that network. So I would tell you that as you start to look at that, think about that volunteering piece before you start thinking about making the money piece. Start volunteering and pick the brains of the people that you're volunteering. Do the same type of thing we're doing here tonight. While you're going through the volunteer process, ask them, like, well, you know, what brought you here? How did you do this? And even the other volunteers, because you never know who you're going to meet when you're, you know, over at Higher Chicken Food Bank, you know, packing boxes, you know, who the individual is you're going to be standing next to. So take real advantage of those opportunities, and I said, make them meaningful.
That's a great point. To add on to that, I think it also helps distinguish yourself. So, you know, let's face it, everyone that's graduated here, you know, you go off to, say you go to a 4-year college, and we'll use University of Florida. I think their average GPA to get in there is now at 4.3. FGC's getting very close to that, but we're not there yet. But my point there, though, is everyone looks the same pretty much on paper. You've got all advanced placement classes, you've got more dual credit classes. What Tom was talking about not only makes you a better, well-rounded individual, but it makes your application stand out, and it diversifies you, and it helps you stand out in that large group. I'll give you an example. We have our physician assistant program. We get almost 1,600 applications with 20 slots there. it's about 0.2% chance of less to get into the program, but it's that well-rounded individual, volunteered out in the locker, volunteering at Harry Chapin Food Bank, volunteering at another local area. So I think that will help distinguish you. It will make you more well-rounded, and you'll have experiences to talk about that's outside of disciplines. I think we talked about what we look for in employees. John mentioned that about having some character and some fun. Well, you got to be more than just your discipline-specific individuals. So having those other experiences will help separate.
I'm going to jump in there just because I probably worked, I think, with teenagers more than almost anybody on the stage. And one of the things that I'm going to tell you right now is that, first of all, be a little brave. You've got all this great advice, but until you actually step up and make the phone call, until you're willing to get a little comfortable with being uncomfortable, you're never going to take that next step. Nobody's going to, I don't think anybody's going to walk off the stage, come up and shake your hand and say, show up to work on Tuesday, right? So you have to ask for the opportunity. And that's hard. That's hard to put yourself out there. It's hard for us to be up here. It's hard to make that step. And when you're a teenager, it's really easy to kind of shrink in and be like, no, I don't want to, no, he's going to think I'm an idiot. No, I don't want to. But just a little bit brave. There are a bunch of people who are out there willing and anxious to assist you. But they don't know. They don't know to help you until you ask. So that's my little 2 cents on the matter. But I do have a question for you, and that is, do you have any questions for us? Is there anything from the audience that you've been listening to this all night? Is there anything that you're curious about, parents or students? Doesn't have to be just students. But if you have any questions for us, we would love to hear them. Yes, please.
I'm going to direct this question, is it Dr. Hilton? And I can't remember your name. You're HR? Sorry? Megan. With Lee Memorial, right? As a medical provider myself, where do you see healthcare going? I mean, you have the reduction in reimbursements. We're paying a heck of a lot more out of pocket as individuals. Where do you see salaries going in healthcare? Where do you see the demand in healthcare as far as what sort of professions in healthcare as we move into the next 5 to 10 years?
I can't speak on the financial side, but in terms of CNAs, entry-level positions are the key, specifically for the health, because we'd like to educate our staff. We have tuition reimbursements and educational assistance, which I believe you spoke of, so that once you're in the system, if you're starting off in, for example, primary services, housekeeping, we want you to grow. We want you to grow throughout your entire journey and throughout your career path. The next step might be a CNA position. With that, and with technology and everything, and you see we're expanding everywhere, so we're going to need all of that set. We're going to have to be competitive this hour. I can't necessarily speak on that part, but just, we're going to have to be competitive going forward because we need the nurses, we need the doctors, we need plan office people. So we'll have to be competitive in that sense, but in terms of that, we're just growing. It's not ever going to go away. We all need healthcare.
Healthcare is here, and I'd love to hear your opinion on that as well. I think one part, where we're looking is really moving more in terms of really we're moving at the fourth industrial revolution in terms of the technology and the telehealth pieces, the artificial intelligence, augmented reality pieces, and I think we're at a place right now at FGCU, and I've met with a few of our hospital CEOs looking at changing our Masters of Health. Right now we have a Masters of Health Sciences, and we're going to move it more towards Masters of Health and Men, but maybe making it not what you have in the vanilla type program in terms of trying to prepare the healthcare provider or the administrator for the future. And I think we can do something really creative. So I see the amount of technology infused both in patient care and also in the kind of the operations of the system. We really got to be prepared for that. I think the challenging thing with technology is we're moving so quick that we don't even know what we don't know. And by the time we get the technology out, it's already rapidly changing. So I think artificial intelligence is here to stay. That's going to change the way that we deliver healthcare. So if we can have that type of information, it's huge. I think healthcare informatics, data analytics, I think we're instilling that into all of our programming. I think the enhancement of interprofessional education on our part from colleges has to be there. I think the way that we treat patients and clients today is much different. We're not in our own silos. We've got to work across systems. We've got to be able to work with our social workers. We've got to work with every provider from start to finish. I think on the clinical side, I see a larger trend maybe more into the professional providers that we talk about, the physician assistants, the nurse practitioners, in terms of, I think we've seen some legislation come through this year here in Florida that is expanding the role both of the nurse practitioner and the PA. I think that's going to be positive as we talk about reimbursements, not as much as it is, so how can we get there? I think we were, not to get on it later at a point, but we were down at Wake Up Naples a couple months ago, and I think where we are with general practitioners, family medicine, is such a challenging deal. I was talking to a physician, came out of school with almost $300,000 worth of student loan debt, and his example was, over, Andrew Luck got tired of playing football for me in the Baptist Colt. After 6-7 years, had enough money to walk away, go do something else. He goes, I had a $2,500 student loan payment before I even paid my mortgage, my house, the car, all those things. So I think we've got to find a quicker pathway to provide some of those services. I think that's going to get there with telehealth and services as well.
Thank you for the question. Is there anyone else? Please.
This is probably jumping the gun a little bit, but what is the most important answer or question for an interview? And what's one that throws you off and just says, I'm not going to hire that person?
Did you hear the question? So what is the question that you look to be asked, and what is the question that is an immediate, thank you for coming today?
I love questions in interviews, so anything that shows me that you've taken a look at the website, that you've gone through the effort of learning about the organization, about learning about the position. One question that I like is, what is your greatest challenge right now that I can help you with? So, what is the thing that you want this position to help you out with the most today? And then what is it, turn off in an interview, or just, am I going to be working outside? Am I going to have to get dirty? Am I going to, kind of the questions where you're sort of saying, well, I don't want to do this, and I don't want to do this. I want to see somebody who's like, yeah, I want to do everything. What else have we got? What else can I do with this? So those are my 2 cents on that one. Good question.
Yeah, it's a very good question. For me, my favorite question to ask somebody is a role-playing or a scenario kind of a question. So I would play devil's advocate with somebody or present a scenario with somebody and act with that person and see what his or her response was. I'd like to do something that really would happen and then see how that person responds to it. So that's just something a little off the wall, a little fun to do. The disqualifier question for me always is, there's the standard name 3 strengths, name 3 weaknesses. It's how you answer the 3 weaknesses one. If you're disguising strengths as weaknesses, like I tend to be a workaholic and I never go home, my wife hates it, that's a bad answer.
I think my biggest disqualifier for Bill off of John is really no questions. So I think too often, at the end of the day, like, hey, do you have any questions for us? No, I'm good. Well, to your point about not reviewing the website, not being prepared for the interview, that really is a red flag. So I think, having some type of questions, whether you want to figure them out or not, make sure you have some questions to ask the board.
I think one of the things too on interviews that I sat on is when you come into an interview and you come in bashing the employer you worked for previously. For whatever reason it may be, whether you kind of disagreed with them, you guys didn't see eye to eye, or maybe you were in the role, it's not something you want to disclose to your new employer about how terrible the work previously was.
And it's not a question, but if I ask you a question and you don't look at me in the eye when you answer the question, that's probably a big negative too.
Please, Mr. Rackers.
My name's Ed Matthews. I'm the principal here of South Fort Myers High School, and we get kids from all different backgrounds. And part part of those backgrounds is, we give second chances, third chances, those kinds of things to go in a forward direction. However, as an employer and as an educator at a higher level, when you're investing your time into somebody, what's negotiable and what's a non-negotiable in regards to their growth in your organization?
Yeah. I think there's a lot that's negotiable. I mean, I think there's this idea that secondary education is kind of locked down, that we're looking for this. And I can tell you, coming from social work, that's not the case. Now, at the same time, what we try to be are good gatekeepers, right? So what we're really trying to look at, like I can give you a perfect example right now. We're about to admit our incoming undergraduate class. We have legal disclosures, self-disclosures in that packet. We're not asking those questions because we want to catch it and kind of be like a aha, like we got you on this and now you're out. We treat it from a standpoint of, we want to be able to guide you, because most social workers don't stop at the undergraduate level. A student who spends 4 years getting an undergraduate degree in social work has the opportunity to get a graduate degree in 1 year, right? So that's a great advantage for them to get out on the market. But what we have to watch is, once they get that master's degree, they then go on for clinical licensure as a therapist. Well, the problem is, if they have certain things in their background, we need to know that, because we don't want someone to spend 5 years getting an education that's not going to transfer out to licensure. Right? So I think we've become, we talk about being student-centered, we talk about being student-focused. I think what we're really just trying to be is honest and real with students. Come in with us and talk to us about things. We generally look at narratives, and I always tell students, I know everything about you through your narrative. I sit down and I read probably 60 narratives a summer for the students who are coming in, because I want to know that aspect of them. And I tell them, as long as you're honest with me, I can be honest with you about what your prospects are in this profession. So I think there is the ability to do that. I think there are a lot of supports, and I'm not trying to promote the brand here, but I think FGCU does a really good job of this. We've put a specific emphasis on student success and enrollment management, and we're investing a lot in resources to make sure that students can be successful. So I think for individuals, students who may have something in your background, don't let that be a stopping point. I had a student who literally called me up recently and said, listen, I was arrested for prostitution, but it was because I was a victim of human trafficking. That's a mitigating circumstance. And we'll sit down with that student, we'll take a look at some things there, and we'll find out what's the best path for that student. Never am I immediately going to turn around and say, sorry, it's a hard no. I want to sit down, I want to get to know who you are, and I want to look at, is it going to be a good fit for you in terms of the profession?
So I'm going to jump in for that one, because I'm not actually an employer, but I'm the technical college. And so one of the things that I find with high school students who come in, that we're a little at odds with high school, is attendance. We don't have 9 absences per semester that are allowed, but we are a place to learn. So I'm willing to negotiate. If it takes you 4 times, it takes somebody else in the class 1 time to learn something, and it takes you 4 times to learn something, I'm in, not a problem. But if you don't get your behind out of bed every morning and show up on time, for that I have a problem, because that was within your control. So the things that you're trying to learn, that you're trying to improve, or that you're trying to do for yourself, my instructors, our school, we're going to go 100% to bat for you. But if you can't take care of the little things, like being in uniform, being on time, because those are the kinds of employability skills that we work on putting in our students at the technical college, because our whole goal is to get you ready for the world of work. And to me, those are deal breakers on the case of our employers, and so therefore they are deal breakers for us. So those are the kinds of things that I have a harder time working with if students aren't taking care of the things that are 100% in their control. It's really hard to get up in the morning. I'm so sorry. That's not going to be a flyer for us. So I would say that those kinds of things, those factors that are completely within your control, that can be your deal breaker. Those are the things that get you on our campus. That is a hard transition for students, I think, sometimes.
I would just say that we definitely look for that very close in the beginning. Before you're of value to us, you're gonna have to be with us 6 months. So if you start out on the wrong foot, we're not probably gonna keep you the other 5 to find out whether you will do us any good.
Yeah, in line with that, we also have a 6-month, ability to terminate at will. And yes, definitely getting up, coming in on time. I think one of the things that I would say though is recently heard saying that most 85% of problems are systems-based, 15% are people-based. So when we see conflict or issues in the workplace, sometimes it's beneficial to take a step back and look at the systems. How is this employee position? What is the work that they're doing? Is it the workload? Is it the direction they're being given? And try and address the underlying problems as opposed to pointing a finger at an employee. What's not negotiable, to your point, is sweeping the issue under the rug. If it's out in the open, we can address it. I love the problems that are out in the open and that are brought up because we can address them. We can find out where we can make systemic changes to make sure that we'll be successful in the future. But honesty, bringing things out in the open is non-negotiable.
Yes.
A little bit of a visualization, maybe exercise, but what does a typical day-to-day look for you? Some people like the routine and they like to be at work at the same time every morning. Some like to have a little bit more freedom. Some want to wear suits, some don't. Are you interacting with patients? Are you working with businesses? Who are your clientele? What is like a day-to-day sort of breakdown for each of you individually or for you?
Yes. I do like to wear suits. Every day is different. Every day is long. So most of my days start I get up at 5:30 in the morning, and after I'm done here tonight, I have 2 projects I need to finish, so I'll either be going back to the office or going home to do them, and it'll probably be midnight before I go to bed, and that's a normal routine day, and that's good. I like it that way. Not a problem, it's not an issue. I meet a lot of different people, I go to a lot of different, I do things like this, I interact with people in business, I interact with other people in education, I interact with people in government, so every day is a different kind of a thing, and really, almost all days are good days.
Top that, somebody.
I've never worked for anyone like I work for currently. I go to work in shorts and flip-flops, and if I want to work from home, I work from home. In fact, I would say that in terms of the future, you're going to see less and less people in the workforce that work from home, and more that work out of their home. So, some of us have the ability to stay focused, and some do not, so some will leave the workplace, but the company I work for, there's a great deal of us that work from home, and when we work from work, it's kind of one of those things. Our home office is in Washington, and due to the coronavirus, I think our building practically empty. So it's, now, it's day in and day out, it's pretty much the same thing. The problems are different, but it's the same routine for the most part.
I wanted to be in an office most of the day. I'm an engineering manager, but I can tell you throughout my career, I have been out in the field, and anybody that comes into the field of engineering or any type of technology, please get out in the field, go walk around, talk to the folks that actually do the work, and make sure that you understand what's going on. You have to have your hands on things to understand what they're doing and to be able to take that back to the office and manage it. Typically, my days and my schedules are managed sort of on an annual cycle when we go into different planning periods. I'll do review check-ins with projects that I have going on, and then I'll also spend time reviewing things that folks folks that I work with are working on. So I tend to have cycles that are more on an annual or a seasonal basis, but as an entry-level person, you're out, you're getting to actually see the things that are going on, you're going out to construction sites, you're using technology and instrumentation, getting out in the field and understanding what is going on, and that's critical no matter what field that you get into. You want to understand not only what goes on at the ground level in your field, but also the other folks that you work with and that interact with the job that you do. So definitely get out and see as much as you can, especially in the entry level, because that's when you get more flexibility to go out and do fun things.
So I'm another lucky one that gets to wear flip-flops and shorts and t-shirt to work every day. The perks of being an entrepreneur, I guess. But for us, really, and what I really look for in people that I hire, as I mentioned before, is that ability to problem solve and that tenacity. Because we face obstacles, many times a day. I'm still learning almost 10 years into my industry, nonstop watching videos online. Deadlines, it just, they're always coming, the next day. So it's just an ability to not only cope with stress, because I think that stress is just a part of life, whether it's in your family, personally, in your workplace, it's that ability to cope with it. And kind of take the challenges face on, and then of course problem solve. People, that work for me who kind of just look at a problem and they just stop in their tracks and they need to be told, well, hey, have you tried this? Have you tried that? Have you looked it up online yet? No, that's an employee that probably is not going to last a long time with us because they don't have that innate ability to want to problem solve by themselves, or they're paralyzed in the situation of having an issue. So being tenacious and being willing to problem solve for us is a huge part of it, and that's just a part of our daily work life is problem solving.
So although I'm on a pretty strict schedule during the day, that's just a small part of my job. I actually went into teaching. I thought I was going to be a mechanical engineer, but I cannot stay awake in an office to save my life. So I knew I needed to be up and about, and I needed challenges that change every day. So that was education for me. Starting early stuff, but by the time we get going, and again, every class presents its unique challenges. I deal with a number of stakeholders, besides my students, just the whole student body, my colleagues, parents, families, community members. Beyond my classroom responsibilities, this evening I was at bargaining. So sitting down with my association and bargaining our contract. There's opportunities to be involved outside of the classroom, so if that's something for you, like I like lawn days, between committees and other types of things, other professional associations, it's rewarding and it's different every single day.
Any other questions out there? Yes, ma'am.
What made you want to do what you do now, or what is the thing that you love most about what you're doing? And maybe if you want to answer, what's the least favorite thing about your job? If you want to dare.
I love what I do. It's one of those things that I didn't realize that jobs like I have actually exist. I've been in construction my entire life. I never thought I'd have the opportunity to, teach other people something that I'm passionate about. One of the things I love the most about my job is getting with new instructors and kind of teach the teacher, teaching them how to teach. What was the second part of your question?
What's your, well, you said your favorite. What made you passionate enough to pursue what you're doing? And then if you want to share, what's the least favorite thing about your day or your job? You don't have to answer.
The least favorite thing about what I do, and everyone up here will agree with me, is there's a certain amount of bureaucracy in everything that we do. I'm obviously passionate about construction. I think it should be in every school, preschool, like, because they did it to me, teach kids how to work with their hands. You know, some kids, you walk into a school and, you know, with instruction, you're automatically preordained to work with kids that aren't good at math or anything like that. But the fact is, you know, they might not learn math from, you know, sitting in front of a computer or reading a piece of paper. They might need to get tape measure out stacks and blocks, stacks and bricks. Or, you know, you'll find the brilliance, you know, there with that person. And that's, you know, was one of the best things and the worst things also.
You made your weakness into a strength. You said not to do that. But I think it's a good picture to show.
I realized that I was going to need to get some education because we've already established that I was a slacker when I was younger. And I answered, my wife heard an ad on the radio for what was International College in Cambridge. She said, you have to go there. So I went there, I met the admissions people. Before you know it, I was taking the entrance test, and before you knew it, I was enrolled. And I earned a bachelor's degree. And then I stayed in and did a master's degree. I was in the original cohort of MBA students, our very first master's degree from MBA. I was in that first graduating class, very cool. So I had 2 degrees from Hodges University. Then they called me up, the dean at the time called me up and asked if I wanted to be an adjunct. And so I started teaching, and so that was very cool. I did that, and I ended up going there full time. I left in 2012 as the chair of the management program. I went to FSW, which was a momentary lapse in judgment. Came back I got my doctorate in the meantime, came back in 2017. So for me, the driver is the longest attachment to anything other than my children that I've ever had has been with Hodges University in my adult life, which is pretty cool. So that, to me, to be able to come back and lead it, run it, take it in new directions, while we still serve the adult degree completion student, for me, that's a very compelling thing. What I like least are those things that are external, and I think they affect all of us in education. Those things that are external to us over which we have no control. I have no idea what Tallahassee is going to do on a day-to-day basis. I have no idea what DC is going to do on a day-to-day basis. There are executive orders, and this is true, that are out there right now that are unexecuted, like fill in the blank stuff where they never fill in the blanks, that at any time somebody can come along and fill in the blank and then we would be on the hook for it, and we have no idea if and when that's ever going to happen. So those are some of the things that would give me a sleepless night, but it's nothing compared to this stuff.
I got into my field by accident. I had applied for a position. I graduated with a structural engineering degree and applied for a position as a structural engineer. And they said, oh, well, we don't think you're qualified for this position. I over-applied, but we have a position available in solid waste resources management. And I said, well, I'll take it. I don't know what it is, but I'll take it. And that got me into my career in the field of waste management that I've been in for almost 20 years. And I love the field, and I especially love what we're seeing in the advances that we're seeing in technology, in just the field and the way that we perceive waste, where we don't want to see things as waste as what's being thrown out. We would want to see it as resources that we can reuse, that we can transform into different products. And I love that we're rethinking that as an industry. And then another thing that's very exciting is you folks, because this generation is going to come up and get into our industry and help us solve problems. So I'm very excited about this generation because of the way that you question things, you question the status quo, and I found that all of the young people that I've worked with have been very optimistic, very willing to solve problems and jump in and embrace challenges. So working with younger folks is something else that I really love and gets me energized. You know, I think everybody else has addressed the negative stuff. I'm not going to get into that too. But it's a great industry. It's a great field to be in. We've got so many advances in technology. So we need people to come help us and to help us move the industry forward.
I'll just say a quick piece on entrepreneurship. I, of course, love to see young entrepreneurs, inspire young entrepreneurs. I started my business when I was 21. You know, and one of the things outside of being able to wear flip-flops and t-shirts and shorts to work every day is the sense of adventure. That was probably the main reason outside of wanting to be a social entrepreneur and change the world one t-shirt at a time. was that sense of adventure. For me, looking at being in an office, or in a building, doing something that I was being told to do on a day-to-day basis, didn't have that sense of adventure that I was looking for. And I said, why not? Why not try and do something crazy, something off the wall, and at the very least, and gain some experience. And 9 years later, we are where we're at. And I think that from what I've learned, the part I like least about being an entrepreneur are the lows that come with that adventure. You're taking a lot of risk. You are making whatever you're doing is what you make it. So if you're not performing, if you are mentally, physically drained, or you're not taking care of yourself, and you feel the immediate impacts of that, you feel the added stress of that, and eventually if you get there, you're potentially doing things like risking not only your own money and time, but also other people's money and time, and you can possibly face failure in the face. So it comes with extreme highs, it comes with extreme lows, but there is, I don't believe, any other greater adventure than trying to start your own business, and you kind of get to learn a little bit about everything, whether it is marketing, managing people, whatever the trade is that you're doing, the accounting side of it, the financials, you're forced that information, and you really learn whether it's a strength for you or not, or it's something you're interested in or not. Because typically, as an entrepreneur, you can't afford just to pay people to do it from day one. So you're learning it as you go. So that, is one of the best parts for me as an entrepreneur, is the sense of adventure, and then the lows are the worst part, and also firing people. So you really have to do a lot wrong with us in order to be let go. But as I mentioned before, one of those things is not being passionate about what you do. Is a quick way for me to say, okay, this isn't a great fit, on to the next person.
So in my particular, specifically the arts, my absolute favorite part of what I do is to try to help students become that adventurer. You mentioned risks. Being in the arts, that's a daily thing. So I ask you to put yourself out there and create something new. You may not walk out the best drawing or painting skills or be the best photographer, but those skills on being able to face this ambiguity and just head on and appreciate the difficulties and the challenges as part of that adventure is definitely a favorite part of what I get to do.
Least favorite?
Waking up super early, not a morning person, so high school.
The teachers don't like it either, guys.
Yeah, teachers don't like it either. We're right there.
Anyone else? I think that's a great ending. We are coming to the end of our time, unless there's any other questions in the audience, which I'm happy to entertain. We've got another 5 minutes if we need it. All right, well then I'm going to say thank you so very much to our panelists. Again, to Southport Myers High School, to the Lee Foundation for Educational Foundation, to FutureMakers, all of whom have worked hard to kind of put this together for you. I hope that you found it to be helpful. We are doing this again in about a month in Lehigh,
April 6th, Dunbar, May 5th.
and then we've got one coming up in Dunbar in May. So if you'd like to join us again, we would love to have you. Please, make the trek out there, and we'll have some panelists the same, some panelists different, and so you'll be able to kind of hear another raft of voices. So thank you very, very much for coming, and I appreciate our panel. Thank you.